I'm a real sales guy. So I'm about relationships. For me, I want to know my clients and my prospects, and I want to turn those prospects into relationships, ultimately into clients for repeat business, of course, because of the quality of my work, and referral business because they're raving fans. But there's another way to find business opportunities in the marketplace. You could use technology to do it instead of relationships. You could use an online lead gen system, lead generation system, using technology to connect with people who might be interested in buying and selling real estate. For instance, if you were interested in seller leads and you were going to use technology to do it, well, what do most homeowners want to know before they decide if they're buying a new house and selling the one they have? What they want to know is, how much is my home worth? So if you want to attract people who are curious about the value of their house as part of the exercise of making a move, then you want to advertise pricing real estate as a way of attracting people. So we're going to do evaluations, online systems that would say, give us your address and we'll give you an idea what your home is worth. Now, when they go through that exercise, of course, you capture their address and their contact details, and then you would call back right away and say, hey, our online system tells me that you're interested in getting an evaluation on your home. Our system is designed to give you a bit of a ballpark, but houses are like people. It's what's inside that counts. If you want an accurate price, I'd have to come by and talk to you. So do you understand how the system works? It really just kind of gets the conversation started. Now, if you were what you'll find with that system, even if the person starts to fill in the capture form, but then changes their mind and maybe doesn't fill the whole thing in, believe it or not, the way the systems are designed today, once a person sort of steps on that capture form, it can identify where they live and can give you their contact details, and you can circle back and again say, our technology tells me you're flirting with the idea of selling. I hope I haven't overstepped myself, but I wanted to reach out and offer a free evaluation, no obligation sort of thing. But the point is that technology exists out there. Now, one of the things you need to learn, and you'll hear me say this, is your communication skills when you reach out. You can spend a boatload of money uncovering opportunities, but if you don't know what to say, your conversion numbers go down and your cost to secure that business goes way up, reducing your profits substantially. So it's really important that you strengthen your communication skills. I'm going to talk more about this in a minute. Now, what they'll do is the company that you've contracted with to help you uncover those leads, they will sell you a zip code or a postal code, and you'll get all the exclusive traffic based on their online advertising that comes out of that. And then, of course, your job is to take that traffic and then turn it around to an actual opportunity. Now, often what they'll do to get people's attention, if you say that there's a particular neighborhood or a zip code you're interested in, usually people in that postal code, neighborhood, and zip code live in similar homes, similar price range, have similar sort of interests in the community, that sort of thing. So what the companies often do is they will design Facebook ads that are designed to track that particular demographic. And that Facebook ad says, hey, find out what your houses are selling for, or what homes are selling for in your neighborhood, or curious to know how much your home's gone up, or what your equity is. The ads are really cleverly written, and they'll follow somebody around till eventually somebody clicks on it, and then it takes them to that low branded site saying, give us a few details, we'll give you a report. The report comes automatically, you get the contact details, and again, you follow it up. So often they use Facebook ads, specific postal codes, and one of the great challenges around this is when the marketing goes out, that we need to be prepared to deal with the inquiry. You'll hear this in the world of real estate technology leads. It's called speed to lead, and you'll hear me talk about it again in a few minutes. But you have to get back to that person very quickly, because otherwise they may have sent out their inquiry to 10 different real estate agents, and it usually goes to the one who contacts them the first. The longer you take to get back to somebody, the more you reduce the likelihood of success. So it's really about getting in touch with them quickly. Now, one of the things that most of the systems have to get in touch with people, they know that you can't drop everything in a moment's notice and pick up the phone and call somebody. So they will have an automated system that will send out either an email or a text message and then notify you need to get in touch with this person. But the idea is it will buy you a little bit of wiggle room, because you may not be able to call at this very moment. But they'll know that you got the inquiry, that it's in the queue, and in very short order, you're going to be reaching out to get in touch with them. And sometimes that can be enough to hold them at bay until they're ready to have that conversation. Now, one of the things that you need to be prepared for is automated CMAs can be risky. We've all made fun of Zestimates over the years because they've come out with some wacky numbers, and it's mind-boggling. that they were never designed, at least at this point, not to give you an absolute pinpoint accurate price. It was to give you a price range. And that was then your job was to follow up and say, that's giving you a range. Like for instance, if you got an automated price on My Neighborhood, it might be anywhere between 800,000 and 1.2 million. Well, that certainly doesn't tell me what my home's worth. Your job as the professional is to pick up the phone and say, hey, I see you're interested in the value of your house. You must be considering making a move. Would you be interested in having a more accurate price? I'd love to come by, show you all the great services we have, and while I'm there, no obligation, I'll give you that evaluation. But the point of all of this is to get in touch with them. It's never been designed to give an absolute accurate, spot on price. It was designed to get the conversation going. Now, you need to prepare for a bit of an investment in this. Again, I find that often people won't spend money on things and then they're disappointed. The investment is going to start sort of entry levels around 500 and then it goes up from there. You plan on $700-800 a month, is the basic math. Now, right away, some people are like, $800 a month, $1,000 a month. I'm not spending $1,000 a month. That's crazy. But let me ask you this. If a sale was worth $20,000 to you and it cost you $1,000 to get it, is that not a good return? I think it is. And I think it's a worthy investment if you're willing to step up and really use it. One of the things that happens is often the leads build up. We didn't get to them in time. And then of course we feel guilty because we've paid for all these leads. The leads have gone cold. Often, out of all the leads that we generate, only one in the bunch is really any good, so we get frustrated with all the rejections. So that's just all part of that whole online lead stuff, that we deal with a lot of rejections. You got to dig through a pile. Often we can't get to them as quickly as we want. These are all the challenges that go with it. But does it work? Sure, it works. Anything works if you work it. You have to work it to make it work. So your head's got to be right. If you're looking for somebody to send you a lead that says, hey, I want to list my house, can you come over right now? That's not going to happen. Oh, by the way, I'm willing to pay a full fee, and whatever price you say is fair, I'm all down for it. That's not going to happen. All the regular resistance is still there. People are still suspicious, and if anything, maybe even more suspicious with an online lead because they've never met you. They don't have a sort of a relationship that led up to this conversation. So there's a lot involved here. You got to have great dialogue, great communication skills. You got to get on it quickly. You got to be willing to spend some money. But if you are, it can work. Now, generating online buyer leads is a little different than seller leads. And what do buyers want? They want houses. So what are you going to do? You're going to advertise around the sites that are designed to display properties that are for sale. Those advertisements will be enough, should be written properly, will be enough to engage somebody to want to click on your ad and get some information. Next thing, you're following up with them about buying. So really, if you're looking to get buyer leads, and I got to assume you want seller leads, but if you were looking for buyer leads, then I would say you need listings as a way of attracting potential buyers, and then you're going to market around those listings from a technology perspective in terms of ads. Now, Zillow. What do I say about Zillow? Well, the first thing I would say is that if you're going to use Zillow, you need to activate your free profile. That's the first thing. The other thing I should tell you about Zillow, if you're a premier agent, at this point anyways, they want 35% of your commission as a premier agent from an advertising perspective. Now, I caution you about this, and this is one of the things I struggle with as a real estate sales guy, is that you're paying out 35% to get that business. Then you've got your company. They've got to take a piece of that action. Then you got your regular business expenses. I recently went through this exercise, why I'm having this conversation with one of our coaching students. She was at a full service company that had a lot of great tools and resources. She started in real estate, and somebody along the line in the very beginning days of her career turned her on to Zillow. So she got hooked on this. She started spending like $1,000 a month or 35% of her commission. She had a partner, by the way. So the two of them were using Zillow as a way of driving their business. They got their 35% Zillow fee, then they got to pay the company, then they got to pay all their business expenses, their E&O, their insurance, their regular advertising, their business cards, and all that other stuff. And then they got to divide the commission check in half. Well, guess what? They quickly came to the realization they were working real hard, doing all the things they were supposed to, and at the end of the exercise, there was no money. They were incredibly frustrated. So, without me knowing what they thought the best solution was, not to give up Zillow, they quit the full-service real estate company and went to a discount broker where they didn't have to pay their broker very much, which only compounded the problem and made it worse, because now they didn't have any tools or resources. Even when they got the Zillow lead, they couldn't get over there and convert it. So they actually made their life worse, not better. To tell you the truth, before you go down the Zillow path, you got to figure out the math on this. And is it really worth your time? If you were asking me as a sales guy, stop looking for easy ways to do the tough stuff and learn to master the tough stuff so that you'll always be secure in your real estate future. Learn to prospect is what I'm telling you. Stop counting on other people to do it for you. I would ask, by the way, though, for client reviews and client testimonials. I would love a 5-star review, and make sure you get those reviews and testimonials, endorsements up, because when people are researching the agent they're going to work with, they look to those endorsements, that research, that rating on you as a real estate agent. And if you're rated high, sound good, got a good website, doing a great job on the marketing, followed up quickly on the opportunity, we're very engaging, interested, you did all of that, well, I'm going to say you're 95% of the way to getting the signature on that listing.